So what are my thoughts on Green Day's latest album, Saviors? What's going on, ladies and gents from Cyberland? Coming back to you with another album review, and this time we're on to, again, one of my favorite bands. Green Day's Saviors. So, after Father of All Motherfuckers, you know, it was very lackluster. I mean, in my opinion, it's probably one of their weakest albums. And not because I didn't like the songs. It was too damn short and there just wasn't enough tracks. And the band didn't really tour too much off of it because the whole thing that happened with COVID and, you know, people being limited to where they can go and stuff. So that's whole ball wax. But the band was actually at some point in London working at RFK Studios, and they were showing these little clips of, apparently they were working on an EP. And at the time I was like, oh man, don't. Look, some bands that want to do EPs, I get it, if that's what they want to do, but I want, for me as a fan, I'm not into EPs. I don't want to pay for EPs. I want to pay for an album of material, because that holds me over until more music comes out, you know? I'm not a fan of 3 songs or something, or 2 songs, you know? If it's bonus tracks, it's different, but just an EP of 5 or 6 songs, I'm not a big fan of it. That's also why I've never reviewed Blink 182's Dog Eating Dogs. I'm just there's not enough for me to chew on that I feel like even reviewing. I mean, the songs are good, but I just don't feel like reviewing albums where it's 4 or 5 songs. To me, that's not an album. So, they were showing clips, and I remember, every single clip that I heard, I was happy. I was ecstatic. I was just okay. Already, I feel like this is going to be a step in more of a rock direction than what Father of All ended up kind of being. This is more like a rock album, not a garage rock. I don't hate garage rock, but I prefer, punk rock or, I'm not the biggest on garage rock sound. And now that I can, have the album and I can backtrack. So the clips was Fancy Sauce, Look Ma No Brains, Dilemma, One-Eyed Bastard, I think, was on there too. And what was the other one? 1981, I believe. Oh, and Coma City. Those were all the tracks that I could, once I, heard the album, I could distinguish, okay, which is which. I already knew from the sound of hearing, okay, this is what that was, this is what that was, this is what that was. And then at some point, I guess I don't know who did it, but it was pretty much an accurate, comparison. And One-Eyed Bastard, that got leaked somewhere, and it was pretty accurate. It was supposed to be it's a demo, but it didn't sound like no damn demo. And it was good. I really liked it. But I was kind of I'm not going to drive around listening to this in my car, headphones yet, because it's just one song. I need a couple songs to be okay, let me listen to this for a while, and then we were getting closer to, then finally the band announced that they're working on an album, and they're working with Rob Cavallo again. And I was oh shoot, that's going to be good. Rob has always been able to bring the best out of the band with every album he's been on. It's just, they go hand in hand. So I was excited about that. And then all of a sudden, there was the clip of the American Dream is Killing Me. Billy laying in bed and wakes up, and then they release the video, and the song comes out, and I was kind of I didn't dislike it, but I kind of was just it's cool, but I don't. For an opener, I guess it's cool. I mean, it's stronger than Father of All, and I don't really feel if it's better, stronger than Somewhere Now, but it was cool. I mean, some people are saying it's very similar to Basket Case, and maybe when I do a guitar cover of this song, I might see it, but I didn't really hear it, you know? The video was cool. I like the video. But the song was alright. You know, I didn't trip. But then, somebody, I guess the band was going around, for certain people were getting a record of American Dream is Killing Me, but on the other side was Look Ma No Brains, and I was like, I wonder what song that is. And somebody put it online, like they recorded, did a good recording too of American Dream is Killing Me and Look Ma No Brains. And when I heard American Dream is Killing Me before the video dropped and the single and stuff, I was like, it's cool. But when I heard Look Ma No Brains, I was just like, immediately I was hooked. Like, this was like, okay, this is gonna, I know the album's not out yet. We don't have a track listing yet. But I kind of feel like this might be my song for the album, like my favorite song. And as the song was only 2 minutes and some change, and as we got to like the bridge part, that's when I was like, oh shit, this is one of the tracks. Like, this is one of the tracks they were working on, because I recognized this riff right here. This was in the clip that had been released like almost 2 years ago. This is the song. This was the one I was like, oh man. So I was already anticipating, okay, all those clips outside of Fancy Sauce changing the way the song was recorded, like the sound of the guitar, everything else was pretty accurate. And I was just like, oh man, so those songs are on this album. Like, right when I heard that, I was just already anticipating those songs, those clips are going to be on the album. Fast forward, Green Day announces that they're going to do these plays where like record stores are going to play the album one time, just once, and you know, depending on where you're at, you can go to it. And at first I was kind of like, I'm not going to do that. I don't know anybody that listens to the band like I do. I don't really hang with anybody like that, you know, to go to that. And my wife was like, no, you should go. It's something for you to do. You really like the band. Go listen to it. And I was like, all right, I'll go. And I drove down to downtown Long Beach at this record store. I forget the name of it because I don't really buy records. Really, I buy CDs. And they gave us a wristband. You know, I didn't check ID. They didn't pat me down or anything. And we got, when we were going in, then they gave us like the booklet for the album, and they gave the poster, and they played the album, and I was like, okay. And the funny thing is, there had already been a couple plays, maybe like a day or two ago, or I forget. I heard the clips. I heard the songs. Pretty most of them, like, you know, kind of not the best quality, but I heard the songs. I was like, okay, I don't know the name of this song, but I like this, I like this. There wasn't anything I didn't like. I was just like, okay. And then being at the record store, they played the album, and of course, like everything I heard, it was just refreshing to hear this album compared to the last one. And again, I'm not hating on Father of All. I've never disliked the Green Day album. I just felt Father of All, if it just had a couple more tracks, I would have been more happy about that album. Where Savior has 15. And, you know, you got shoot, what's the 16th track, the bonus track? I can't. I forgot the 16th track. His name is escaping me right now. But anyway, you know, listened to it at the store. Hung out with this guy. We talked for a while, and we were just talking and listening to music. And it was just chill. You know, people were just chill. I mean, when Dilemma came on, everybody was singing that song. I was like, okay. And it was just like the booklet. I understand. I feel like, American Idiot, we got the book, if you got the book album, if you did the deluxe. And then 21st Century is the same thing. And I just feel, and then Uno Dos Tres, they did it too. And I just feel like Saviors, no, they did it for Revolution Radio too. I got that. But this time around, and maybe it's a money thing, but I just felt like Saviors should have had it because, it's like if you went to these record stores, listen to the album, and you get the booklet. It's very similar, like artwork and everything and lyrics. It's very similar to the booklet for American Idiot, 21st Century, like how big it is and stuff. And I just kind of felt like, why didn't they just like allow us, the fans, to buy that edition in that way than just like this small little CD? But then for some people, if you pre-ordered it, you get the album signed by the band, and I got that with my order. I was happy with it, but I always felt like it should have been a nice big booklet album. So nonetheless, listened to the album, and I was very, very happy with it. I mean, I wasn't like, oh man, this is like one of their best ever. I wasn't like that, but I was just like, I enjoyed it. I'm still listening to it to this day. It's one of the albums I've been listening to for the last couple months since it's dropped. Periodically, every couple days or every 2 days, I'm listening to this album. I love it. How I would rank it, definitely better than Father of All. I think it's probably better than Revolution Radio. I would put it up there with, after, Dookie, Insomniac, American Idiot, Nimrod. Those are always going to be in my top. So I would put Saviors probably right under those. And it feels like a continuation from AI in 21st Century. Oh, in 21st Century, those are, my top five. So I put it under those. And Uno Dos Tres, because they're so different, I feel this album is better than those. Only in the sense of it's more concise. It's the song. It's a lot less filler than Uno Dos Tres to some degree, and the guitars are in your face, and I love that. My top 5 tracks is Look Ma No Brains, of course. That at first was going to be Bobby Socks, but Look Ma No Brains it just still hits me. It still gets me pumped. It's one of those songs I just really, really love. Coma City. Coma City was almost my number 2, but I really like Bobby Socks the way I just like how, I know that song's for his wife and stuff, but I can totally relate that to just how me and my wife, and then especially the soloing all the way up to the end. I just love that part, and that, and then Coma City, the drumming for that is amazing, and even the song itself is really badass. And then Living in the 20s, that sums up pretty much just mindset of people in general. And then One-Eyed Bastard. I would say too, One-Eyed Bastard is just, it's just, a no give fucks kind of right song, just don't give a shit, like toward mindset towards another person kind of thing. And then honorable mentions is, Dilemma, Saviors, and Fancy Sauce. This was really difficult for me to like narrow down my top 5, my top 5 songs, because at first I didn't really care for Susie Chapstick, but now I think that's probably one of the strongest songs for lyrics. Maybe not, I wouldn't say the strongest for guitars and stuff, but for that, none of the songs felt weak to me. Corvette Summer took a while to grow on me because it just feels like it felt kind of off compared to the rest of the album, but it grew on me. But nonetheless, none of the songs felt weak to me. Some people are saying they like this half better than the other half. I feel the first half I like the first half more than the second half, but the second half is just as strong. I just feel the first half is more abrasive, and the second half is where you start getting more of the mellow songs, like, Susie Chapstick, Father to a Son. Fancy Sauce, even though Fancy Sauce starts to build up. You know, it just, that's more the mellow side. Outside of Goodnight, Out of Line, that, you know, stuff like that. My rating for the album is 9 out of 10 yes sirs. It's not perfect, and I think it's not perfect because I think what's probably missing from it is that it doesn't have a strong enough theme. It would have been nice if, and maybe the band is working on American Idiot 2 or something similar to, or another type of album like that, maybe a continuation, that would be cool. But it felt like, you know, it felt like it wasn't floating as much as maybe AI in 21st Century. It felt like Saviors, okay. The American Dream is Killing Me, okay. But One-Eyed Bastard doesn't really fit, you know? Dilemma doesn't, it's like, what is really the theme, since you're calling it Saviors and you're saying it's like similar to AI in 21st Century, what is the theme then when it comes down to the whole album? Is it just society, or is it like a, you know, I think maybe it would have been better if it had a main character for the songs. Maybe that's what we're looking at. So, yeah, you know, great album. I will listen to it later today or tomorrow. So, with that being said, you know, we gotta cue the music, you know, we can't not do that. So.
Maybe I got time.